going to be making up some scones today, or scones, depending on how you pronounce them. Now these scones, what we're going to do is make up a really simple dough, nice homemade dough, and then what we do is put it on a floured surface, cut the shape of the scone out, put them in the oven, bake them up, they rise and go a nice golden brown colour, and when they've cooled down, you cut them in half and you fill it with the most beautiful strawberry jam and clotted cream, and they are just divine. Now before we get on and make up these scones, what I'm going to do is quickly run you through the ingredients. Now first of all, I've got some flour. I've got 350 grams of self-raising flour, 175 ml of just milk, that's sort of semi-skim milk, 40 grams of caster sugar, 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, which is baking powder, and a pinch of salt, about a quarter of a teaspoon there, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a little squeeze of lemon juice. Now the reason we're putting the lemon juice in there is to sour the milk. Now if you actually get buttermilk, which is a bit sour, then you don't need to bother with the lemon juice. Then I've got finally some butter. I'm going to use about a third of that block, so about 85 grams. That whole block is 250, so I'm going to use about a third of it, 85 grams. Then I've got 1 egg, and what I'm going to do is just beat the egg, add a little bit of milk in there, and we're just going to brush that on top of the scones. It gives a really nice colour. Then get yourself some really nice strawberry jam. Now the first ingredient in this jar is strawberries rather than sugar, so it's a really nice strawberry jam. And again, clotted cream. I've got a nice Cornish clotted cream, so that's come from Cornwall, and all that lot together is just beautiful and goes with a cup of tea. So if you've got friends coming round, or you know, you want a nice afternoon or evening tea, this is just beautiful. You'll love it. So I've gone through all the ingredients, so what I'm going to do is move it all out of the way, get myself a bowl, and then we're going to start off by sieving the flour, try and get a little bit of air in and make up this really nice dough. So I've got my bowl, and what I'm going to do is just put my sieve there. Now I'm going to pour my flour in, all that self-raising flour, and then what we can do is just do it from a height, try and get a little bit of air into the flour. That's it, done that one. Now I've also got my baking powder, bicarbonate soda, again, just put that through. I'm just going to put that little pinch of salt in there. Next to going, I've got that butter. I mean, you can cut it into smaller pieces and put it in, but I'm just going to put it in as it is. So 85 grams of cold butter. And the last thing I've got is that caster sugar. So pop that in. Now what I'm now going to do is just to sort of mix this all together with my fingers and just try and crumble it and lift it up as you go. So just try and, you know, try and get a bit of air in and break up that butter a little bit and just sort of mix it all. Now the idea of lifting up the flour is obviously to try and get the air in there. So just make it nice and crumbly. It'll probably only take, you know, a minute or two until it's all nicely mixed. So squeeze the butter as you do it with the flour and just try and lift up the flour as you do it to get the air in. So I'll just carry on doing that until it's all nicely mixed. So I've just been doing that for about a minute, sort of squeezing it, trying to break it up and just mix it with that flour, and at the same time, you know, lift it up to try and get some air into the sort of mixture. So that's all ready to go. Now what we're now going to do is add the rest of the ingredients, like the milk, the lemon juice and the vanilla extract. Now the next thing to go in is going to be the milk. Now what I would say is it's better to put the milk in either at room temperature, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to put mine in the microwave for 15-20 seconds, just warm it up a little bit, because I think when you pour it in then it makes it easier to mix up. So I'm going to pop mine in the microwave 15-20 seconds just to warm it up fractionally. So I've just taken my milk out of the microwave and I'm just going to pop in about a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and we've also got just a little bit of lemon juice just to kind of sour the milk. Give that a stir. And now what we can do is make a little place in the middle there, and we can just pour that in and start mixing it up. So I'm just going to make a little well in the middle there. I'm just going to naturally just pour that in. Now what we can do is just start mixing this all up. Shouldn't take very long. I'd say about a minute. Be kind of gentle with it. The main thing about making scones is you don't want to overwork the dough, because otherwise it's not going to give you such a nice scone. So this is really now mixed up enough, and what I'm going to do is flour off the surface, and then we're going to just tip this onto the floured surface. So I'm just going to move my bowl out of the way and keep some flour at hand. I've got a little bowl full. We don't need a lot, but we do need some. There you go. Just spread that out like that, and then what we can do is just literally pour that on. Now what I would say is, with your hands, have a little bit of flour at hand. Now you want to kind of be fairly gentle with this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just fold it over like this, fold it over like that, and just keep doing this really for no more than a minute. Be nice and gentle with it, kind of flatten it out, and then just pull it into itself like that. And turn that over. I'm going to flatten this out. Again, just a last sprinkle there. I'm going to make nice thick scones. So now we've got the dough all ready to go, ready to cut out. Now what I've got is, I've actually got a baking tray with a bit of parchment sort of baking paper. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that into a preheated oven so it's nice and hot when we take it out. Now just before I pull my baking tray out, I'm just giving it a quick turn over. So just leave that there, and then I'm going to go and get me baking tray. I've got my baking tray there, and it's very hot actually, so I'm going to put it near it just enough that I can scoop these out. Now what I'm going to do is just push it straight down, and then we can just put them on. Now it helps if you can kind of dip it in flour first. So again, just go straight down, and then we can just pop it on there. Again, in the flour again. I think that just helps to make it release. And again, straight in with that one. Now with all this, what we can do is just very gently again flatten it out, and you can make some more. So we just squash that up like so. I'll make a kind of oval shape. I'll get at least 2 out of there. I might even get 3. So again, in the flour, straight in there. I reckon I'll just get 1 more out of there. This can be like a nice big one. I think I'm going to do this one by hand. There you go. Nice big scone, that one. So I've got my scones there, 7 of them. Now the other thing is, I've got a little bit of egg there, so what I'm going to do is just beat this, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of milk, and then we're going to put that over the top of the scones, and it just really helps to get a nice colour. So again, just put a little bit of milk, not too much, and again, that's ready to go now. So we're going to brush that over the top of the scones. Just going to hold that there. Just give it a nice quick brushing over, and this will just really give it a lovely colour. And all these little cracks on top are going to help to sort of make it look really delicious. So I just keep brushing this on over the top. Doesn't matter if you spill a bit. There you go. And that's the last one. So what we're going to do now is to put those into the preheated oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. So I'm just going to put those in the oven. Now I'm going to put them into a preheated oven, temperature wise 200 degrees Celsius, 400 Fahrenheit, gas mark 6, and you want to cook those for about 12 to 15 minutes until they get a nice golden brown colour and they've risen and they look delicious. So I've been cooking my scones for about 15 minutes. So let's pull them out, have a look at them. How do we know they're done? Well, that's pretty simple really. All you do is just push your knife in, and if it comes out nice and clean, like that, that's fine. So let's pull it out. What I'm going to do is let mine cool down a little bit, and then we're going to have them with all that sort of jam and clotted cream. Look beautiful though. Let's put them on a wire rack. So I've got my scones and I've taken them out of the oven and put them on a wire rack. Now I've put them on there because I want to let them cool down. So what I would say is 10 or 15 minutes, and then what we do is come back, slice them in half, and then we're going to fill them up with that lovely strawberry jam and clotted cream and try one or two. So I've waited about 10 minutes and I can't wait any longer. So what I'm going to do is take those off there, put them on a plate, and we're going to try one. So I'm just going to pick on any one of them, this one that's nearest to me. So look at that. Really nice looking. Sound hollow, so that means they're done. I'm just going to very gently cut that in half, fold that open. Look at that. That looks really beautifully cooked. Still very slightly warm. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of jam on there. Now I've got a really nice jam here. Look at your ingredients on the back, and the first ingredients should be strawberries. If it's sugar, then it's not so good. Try and get one that's got plenty of strawberries in there. Now if you're really indulgent and want the full Monty, the full works, what you can do is just put a little bit of butter on there. Gives it a nice flavour. Again, a little bit on there. That's just to start it off. The next thing is a big debate whether you go for the jam first and then put the clotted cream, or you put the clotted cream first and then the jam. Now I've looked around and I've always felt that the jam is the first one, and even the Ritz, the article I read, it said jam first. So we're going with the jam, the way I kind of thought it was. Put a nice good splodge of jam on both halves. I might just move those back a bit, give me a bit of space. Look at that. Lovely. And then we've got this sort of Cornish clotted cream. So what we can do is get a good scoop of that. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh, that is just so good. Doesn't that look delicious? Absolutely delicious. So let's just try one of those. Let's just pick one up. This one looks really good with that extra piece of clotted cream. So I just bring that a little bit closer for you to see. It looks really good. And I'm just going to take a big bite out of that. Oh, that is so good. That is really lovely actually. I can't tell you how nice it is. The scones, they're nicely cooked. Beautiful scones, and they're still warm, and you've got this really delicious strawberry jam on top, and with this clotted cream, they are just absolutely scrummy yummy. And what better thing to go with this than a nice cup of tea. So I've got my cup of tea there, wash it down a little bit. That's lovely. I'm just going to have one more bite out of that. Look, I've got this little bit dribbling down the side there trying to escape, so we'll have him. Oh yeah. That is so good. You must try these. Thanks for watching. Cheers and enjoy. So I've got my scones and they're all laid out there looking absolutely scrummy yummy. We've got that beautiful strawberry jam, clotted cream. Now what I would say is help yourself. If you don't manage to eat them all, I'll come back in a few minutes, take the plate away, and you know, we'll have to eat what's left. Thanks for watching and enjoy.